So David and Jeff today at Stow Longa, we're actually looking at the winter wheat trials that we did that were drilled with different coulters and different band widths and different seed rates. This was drilled on the 28th of October. I'll just switch over to the chart now and the graphs, and then we'll take a look down the rows. But Jeff, is there anything you want to particularly focus on here?
Yes, if you look at what we did rows at 175 wide, which is a 7-inch coulter. We did rows at 5 inches, which is a 5-inch coulter, rows with a 3-inch, and also rows using a bean coulter at 1 inch wide. And then to add to that, we drilled at the different seed rates. So we started on the 7-inch at 200, 300, 400, 500, did exactly the same with a 5 and a 3 and a 1-inch, and you can see here the percentage germination on the actual seeds at 200. We had nearly 80% germination, and that dropped off the more seeds we put in down to somewhere around about the 50%. It's virtually the same line on all of the plots that we have here, and also if you look at the blue bars, that's the actual plants that established. So on the 7-inch, it was 150 or 60 there. And as the seed rate went up at the 500, we had somewhere nearer 225. On the 5-inch column, you can see it's pretty much stepped up, equal steps each time. So there's more plants, the more seed we put on. So really interesting. Let's go and have a little look at the plots themselves now. So if we come down here, David, we go down to where the cane is, and we'll start with the 1-inch coulter.
That's correct.
I believe it's a 500 seeds as we go this end, and it reduces as we go down.
That's correct, yeah. It was the higher seeds at this end, reducing down basically.
So when you look up there, you can see we've got quite a narrow band of seed, and you can see a big gap between the rows. And this is at 320, 330 wide rows, just over 12 inches. And the plants are very upright. We're getting lots of light in, and 500 seeds. But when you look from the side, we haven't got so many ears. It'll be interesting when Agrii count the ears to see how many ears we've actually produced at the different seed rates.
Yeah.
As we come to the next one, David,
so that's
slightly
now 400.
400. You can see again, we've got the band of ears. They're fairly narrow again and running up quite a gap. And then we come to the 300, and the ears are still here. And don't know how many, but we'll get them counted. And then we come to the 200. We've got a few more gaps you can see in the 200 seed rate using a 1-inch coulter, but that's probably because the ground is a little unlevel and the seed depths and so forth. But you know, the 200 is not quite such a dense row. So then we come to the 3-inch coulter, which is showing quite a wider band. You can see here it's quite a lot wider, and if you come down to the side, we can see the density of the ears. You've got nice light inception in there. The spray chemicals can go down on the leaves. The sun can get down there as well. So it's really quite good. And as we go up the 3-inch plot, looking at it down the plot there, you can see the rows. So we now come to the next seed rate, which is 400. Yep. And we now come to the 500 on a 3-inch band.
No, down 300.
Down 300.
Yeah, we're going down this way.
Down 300, yep. Sorry, David, you're right. And then we come down again. This is just a 200 seed. So we've still got a respectable number of plants, and you can see down there how the spatule cropping is coming. And now we come down to the 5-inch and 500 seeds here on a 5-inch. We've got a much wider platform of ears, a little bit less room down between the columns here. Nice dense row, very competitive in the band for the grass weed control. Plus we can then hoe down between those rows and take anything outgrowing in between. So quite a good structure there for a crop to be in. As we go down to the 400, again with the 5-inch share, you can see nice sort of spread of ears a lot wider. You can see it's at least the width of my fingers spread out, whereas the 1 inch was like only 4 fingers wide, whereas this one is probably getting on for 8 fingers wide. So then we come down again to the 300, and you can see looking up those rows, nice ears. They're standing up stage, so they're all nice and vertical at the moment, and as they come to ripen they will then start to fill in the gap between the rows. But now they're collecting the sunlight on those flag leaves to fill them with nice goodness in the ear grains. We now come to the 7 inch. Yes, must be the 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, last 5. Yep.
Yep.
Here we are on the last of the 5 inch, which is only 200 seeds, but the spacing, we've got a really respectable stand here of crop, and you can see a nice, more or less even gap down between there. So the 5 inch at the standing up stage here is looking really good even at 200. So now we'll step up to the 7 inch band, and you can see here again it's gone wider with the ears. There's more room for the ears to come up, and this is at 500 seeds. We've still got a nice hoeing gap down the middle there, and a nice strong band and a nice strong rows there. So we come down to 400, and you can see still very presentable. It's come really well. If you refer back to the chart, you can see the plants that survived and everything else. And then with the 7 inch, we're coming down now to 300. Still a very nice crop, nice ears on it. Sometimes with a little bit lower seed rate you can get bigger ears and have more grain in them. So when we do the ear count, it'll be interesting to know how many seeds you've got in each ear as well. And then we come way down to the 200 seeds a square metre in the last 7 inch plot here. And all these plots will actually be taken to yield, and they're replicated down the field. So thankfully, and thank you Agrii for giving us this chance to actually test this theory of the band width and the spacing between the bands. So it's going to be a very interesting project, and it's at Stow Longa. Anyone attending Stow Longa can come and see this project and talk with John Miles. It started talking with John Miles, which is going to give us the best yield at the end of the day, which is all about, as we all know, is yield is the king, and hopefully these plots will give us some really good results. So have a good day everybody, and it'll be really great to catch up with you. If you want to go onto the website with Claydon and have a look at those other videos of our farm and the crops, do so, because there's lots there to see, and we've got some fantastic results at home. You're welcome also to come over to the farm. Just have a word with David or Tague or one of our managers, and you'll be able to come and have a look round. No problem.
And we look forward to seeing you all next week at Cereals. So come and see us on the Claydon stand at Cereals.